Alright, what's going on, guys? Trev back again, here to bring you another video. This one's going to be doing another Q&A for today for The Walking Dead Season 7 leading into the second half. This one first, we're going to give our thoughts on a recent interview from Kirkman where he talks about The Walking Dead possibly going up to Season 12 and how that converts to the comic book series as well as it catching up to the comic book series. We're going to war. Spoiler warning, of course, if you're not caught up for The Walking Dead. So I'll put the link in the description to comicbook.com so you guys can go ahead and check out the article. It's how many more seasons will The Walking Dead have? And it says, here's the quote from Kirkman, it took us 6 seasons to get to issue 100. So it took them 6 seasons to get to 100. It won't take us 6 years to get to 200, and that will take us to season 12. And we'll still be ahead of the show at that point. So this is really cool to hear from, the creator of The Walking Dead himself that they're looking at, it took us 6 to get to 100. So to season 7 pretty much. You go from seasons 1 to the premiere for 7, so 6 full seasons to get to issue 100. It won't take us 6 years to get to 200, and that will take us to season 12. A little bit confused by the English here. It won't take us 6 years to get to... okay, so maybe saying maybe they'll get there a little bit sooner. I'm not sure, but okay, let's just say around season 12 they get to roughly issue 200. Right now, of course, they're in the 160s, so if you do roughly 12 issues a year, yeah, so they still won't catch up to the series, even if it goes to like season 12 and that. And there's also some comments in the article and a few different articles that reference it about the decline in ratings this year in the first half of season 7. Most of them still say it's still over 10 million. It's still one of the highest, rated shows on television. And it's still Smoke and Fear The Walking Dead, which is at like 3 or 4, million views an episode, something like that. So that's pretty cool. So it's good confirmation to get to hear from him that he's got a long-term vision, a long-term strategy planned out for how the comic book series is going to be released and how long it's going to take for it to be converted, and the fact that it will still stay ahead, especially if they do half seasons like this first half. I feel like they should be easily able to keep it ahead, and also as they add in more characters and more groups and they kind of expand on the original comic book storyline, I feel like if you look at this half season, they've added in the ocean side, they may be adding in some other groups to this second half. It doesn't really take away from the experience. It's just like they're expanding it more, they're making it an even larger world, everything's even bigger, larger than it was in the comic book version. So the Saviors have more members, the Saviors have more numbers than they did in the comics. In the comics, it seems like the Saviors have about 100. In the television series, it looks like to start with, they probably had maybe 200 or something like that, or maybe more. I don't know, it's really hard to tell, but a lot anyway. So it's good stuff, and it's good to hear that. There's also an interview with Chad Coleman, who of course played Tyreese, and they asked him what he missed most about playing The Walking Dead, what he misses about The Walking Dead and that. And he pretty much said the cast, it sounds like, getting to work with everybody that he worked with there, which you can understand because The Walking Dead cast is pretty stacked with some really cool people and stuff. He says, not really for Walking Dead because Tyreese couldn't even fire a weapon. That's the beauty of Tyreese. Tyreese is like an anti-hero, an everyman, and there's no superhero-ness to him. He's very human, and that humanity sits up front, so when viewers experience it, they think, yeah, that's how I would be. I'm scared as hell. I don't care what my size is, and I'm afraid, and I don't want to kill people. So that's kind of cool to hear him kind of comment on that after these years now, because it's been, basically 2 full years since he's been, gone from Walking Dead. He's been in a lot of different shows since then, too, hasn't he? I've heard of him being in a few different ones. So, pretty much with everybody who's on Walking Dead, after the actor-actress, after they move on, usually they get all kinds of roles, and usually they do really well for the most part. I mean, you have John Bernthal, huge movie star now for sure, and Chad Coleman and Dave Morrissey, everybody else, pretty much everybody who's been in the show, their careers have probably just done even better from it afterwards. So I do miss seeing Tyreese in the show a little bit, and I like his kind of recap of him. I feel like the TV series version is a bit different from the comics with regards to that. I think Chad Coleman had a lot of influence in who Tyreese was in the TV series version, where he's really against killing and he's really kind of more timid. The comic book series version, him and Michonne, they go after the governor, and they don't it doesn't seem like they're going to hesitate. It looks like they're going to go after him. So I'd have to look back at some of those older issues and that and see if there's anything in Tyreese that kind of showed that he was against killing or afraid to kill. But in the TV series version, I definitely think that Chad Coleman got to kind of steer how they went with Tyreese in the TV series version, him being quite a bit different from the comic book series version. At least the way I read him and the way I see him, I think he's quite a bit different. But it's cool to hear him comment on the character, even though it's been 2 years since he hasn't been playing him now, obviously, after being killed off. Angus Johnson says, "Hey, Trev, Q&A, do you think Heath will become the next Morales?" Or if we'll see him again. Love the videos and appreciate the quality. So thanks, Angus. No, I don't think he'll become the next Morales. I think he'll be back in a couple years, and I don't think it'll be a huge deal. I think it'll be fun to see him return, but I don't think Morales is ever going to come back. And I've seen another resurgence of questions about him, and I try not to talk about it or even discuss it, but I don't think he's ever coming back. It's way too late now. Viewers have probably long since forgotten about it anyway, except for us Walking Dead geeks. Nobody's going to even remember who he is at this point. Casual viewers definitely won't remember by this point. It's been way too long. Tyler Johnson says, "Trav, that voice for Sophia scenario, what if she's in the barn? You're right, though. No one saw that coming. Almost nobody. There's a few people in comments who said, my mom called it or something. And it's like, okay, if you say so. But yeah, hardly anybody. We mentioned this in the top 10 episodes video the other day. If you missed, I did a top 10 best episodes of Walking Dead countdown. It's in the channel, so check it out. An updated one with the first half of Season 7 integrated into it, so you can check that out if you want to see it. But you're right, nobody did. And also, that was before spoiler time, right? Like now, almost everything gets leaked now, which kind of pisses me off. It's fun, but at the same time, it's like, damn it, I kind of wish I didn't know about Olivia getting shot in comments before. I'm okay with spoiler predictions. I'm okay with some info. I'm okay with seeing locations and some stuff like that. I prefer not to know script info, though. And I see it in comments, and I'm like, oh, damn it. Now it kind of ruins it for me. Travesty Mo says, "Hey, Trev, you always seem to be so damn happy all the time. I need to have your outlook on life, apparently, or just be Canadian, LOL." So I'm not that happy all the time. I try to be upbeat in the videos and stuff, because who would want to watch somebody just like on video, just like, just down and depressed all the time? So it just wouldn't work. I've been on YouTube long enough to know that if you do that, people are not going to respond well to that. So, I try to be. I'm a pretty happy guy for the most part. I enjoy doing this with you guys. So that's part of why I seem to be happy a lot, because I like doing this. I'm not so happy when I'm taking out the garbage. I'm not so happy when I'm, working like crazy and working my ass off. So this is just fun stuff to do. So that's why, do something fun, Travesty. Do something that you enjoy. Maybe that's productive too, a hobby or something, and maybe that will help you. But I did a video on that anyway. There's a top 10 on the channel on that. So if you want to watch that, top 10, how to be happy, whatever, from me anyway, you can check it out here, my opinion. Of course, I don't have a PhD in the subject, but there's psychologists that study that as a career, happiness and stuff and contentment. Handsome Jack says, hey Trev, what the hell do you have around your neck / chest? So you set me up for this one, Handsome Jack. It's muscle, dude. It's muscle. No, I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about, but sometimes I get red, so I don't know. James Wilmot says, who is your favorite actor and why? For me, Ray Walston, who had a good sense of humor and comedic smile. So who's my favorite actor? And I guess we'll wrap up with this one. He also asked, who's my favorite writer and why? Well, it's going to be Kirkman, because he created Walking Dead, and I just love it. Even Invincible is incredible, too. So Kirkman's my favorite writer for sure. Favorite actor? That's really tough. I might just simply have to go with Andrew Lincoln, just because I've enjoyed The Walking Dead so much over the years, and he's always been a mainstay, and he's always done an amazing job with his emotions and really killing it as Rick Grimes. He's just been incredible. So probably Andrew Lincoln is my favorite actor. But, I like John Bernthal a lot. Heath Ledger and his Joker was, a career-defining performance, so that's amazing. Jack Nicholson's Joker is another one of my favorites. So Jack, old school Jack Nicholson, I really like Jack a lot. He's incredible. Let's see who else we got. Christian Bale, another favorite too, of course. I know I mentioned a lot of Batman stuff here, but some of my favorite stuff. Hugh Jackman, amazing as Wolverine, so he's one of my favorite actors. Ryan Reynolds is pretty funny too if you're into dark comedy and stuff with Deadpool or some of the other stuff. He's good in Waiting, and some of the movies he's done like that are pretty funny. And I think that's, I mean, in terms of comedy, you've got a whole, there's tons of actors out there. So it depends what genre you're talking. But those would probably be some of my favorite actors and other writers. George R.R. Martin, of course, with Game of Thrones is incredible. And let's see. Most of the rest would probably be comic writers, Bendis and who else? Grant Morrison, he's amazing. And Jeff Johns. Oh, how could I forget him from DC? He's incredible, too. So there's lots of them. Anyway, that'll be it for today's Q&A, guys. Let me know what you think about the quotes and everything. And it going up to Season 12. Are you down? I'm certainly down. I'm in Walking Dead long haul, Walking Dead fan. So I'll be here. If it gets to Season 12, I'll be happy. And if it doesn't catch up to the comics, that'll be a good thing, too. I'll be happy as well, because then I know it's got a good, anticipation for the future. If you guys like this video, please thumb it up below. You could also share, you can favorite, and if you're new and you want to subscribe, you can subscribe at the bottom left. That's it for this one. I'll see you guys again soon for another Tomorrow. As always, is Trev. I'm saying peace. Later, guys. See ya. Just subscribe somehow.